Hi, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over how I made a touchy-feely lamp out of an Arduino. So here we got our ground. We've got our ground wire right here, the black one. We've got our board. We've got our Arduino wire. Okay, let's go over what these wires are. So let's start with the orange ones. Actually, you know what? We'll start with the power source. So the power source is actually my fingers and also the metal for my computer. When I touch the metal from my computer and I touch my finger onto this wire, it completes the circuit because the wire is attached to the computer. And we'll demonstrate it too so that you guys can see this in real time. So when I touch the electric signals go right to this resistor, which will slow down your electric current, and it will go into these two wires. Then once it reacts to that code, it'll come out the third wire, and this third wire will go through another resistor, and the current will go straight to the LED. Now, the resistor here is connected to ground because we don't have a power source. The power source is actually my finger. So we can't really connect it to power, so we're just going to connect it to ground. Okay, so now we're going to go over code because this isn't a very hard wiring project. It's more in the understanding of how it works. So let's just get to my code. There we go. Okay. So now we're just going to look at this output here. Even though we don't need it. So we're going to look at this. Okay, so line 1 says #include capacitive sensor. So now the Arduino, the regular Arduino code, does not come with the capacitive sensor library. So you're going to need to add it over here. So you're going to go to your top left corner, sorry about that. And you are going to go to Sketch, go to Include Library, Manage Libraries, and then you can add the library that you need. Now what? So you've got capacitive sensor. Then you're gonna define your capacitive sensor variable here. And 4 is gonna be your pins, right? So this is your input-output pin. And then int threshold. So threshold is kind of like your maximum kind of energy kind of thing. And then const int LED pin. So this is just our LED pin. We know this already. Then void setup code to run once. Serial begin 9600. So this is what our serial monitor is gonna begin at. Right, this is our serial monitor right here. Okay, so when you touch it, the numbers are gonna show up. Pin mode, LED pin output. So LED pin is our output because the LED turning on is our output. That's not our input. Then void loop. This is our code that's gonna run over and over again. So long sensor value, cap sensor. This is just our capacitive sensor data. So this is gonna pretty much like help the serial monitor. Then serial.print. So this is what's gonna actually write the numbers on the serial monitor. So this is gonna be our sensor value. So the capacitive sensor's value. If the sensor value is above the threshold, then we're gonna make the LED turn on. So LED pin high, right? So the threshold is your kind of low point. So if I'm touching the wire and I'm touching our metal here, right? Then nothing's gonna happen if my sensor value is below that threshold of 1000. Then we've got this else statement. So this is if this is not the case, if this if statement is not the case, then for every other case, then it's gonna digital write LED pin low. So that means it's just gonna keep the LED pin off. And then delay 10. So that's just like once it's run once, we're just gonna delay it. And the 10 is actually in milliseconds. So that just kind of changes things a bit. So now we're gonna plug this in and we're gonna run our code on the computer. Here we go. There. So we got this turned on. So now we're gonna touch it and we're gonna touch our computer. As you can see, the LED turns on. However, if I just touch this, and I know some people have done this because I actually did it the first time I was trying this, nothing's gonna happen, right? Because you need to complete the circuit, like I said before. See, the power from the computer and the power from my fingers, nothing's gonna happen if they are connected in the full circuit. See, We've got this entire thing winding around. It just ends at this tiny wire here, right? Just we gotta complete the circuit, make it kind of like this circle kind of shape, and that's how you turn it on. And remember, if you are holding hands with another person, this actually will work. So say I have a person like right here, right, and I'm holding their hand and they're touching the computer. Then their hand and touching, it will go through all of us. And I actually tried this with my entire family, and we were 4 people, and it actually still turned the light on and off. So that was really cool. Well, thank you for watching. This is my touchy-feely lamp made from an Arduino board. So thank you for watching.